The Arizona Wildcats beat Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs. The final score: Arizona Wildcats 91 to the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs 65. um, there was a couple cool things that I enjoyed. Um, One is I just really get excited about Jackson-Cartwright. I think he's pretty darn cool. Um, he's just a small. He's just so small compared to the other players. You just don't expect much out of him, and he. Um, that was tonight was the one of the stats was something that I would expect from Jackson-Cartwright. Um, he had he had, let me see, I think it was 7 assists tonight. Yeah, he had 7 assists tonight. Um, and T.J. McConnell had 8 assists. Jackson-Cartwright, I don't think. Well, he scored a total of I think he had 5 points. So you have to think about the amount of assists, what he did with those assists. T.J. McConnell had 8. Like I said, he had 8 assists tonight, and the total points that T.J. McConnell had was 5 also. So those two, T.J. McConnell and Jackson-Cartwright, they're both point guards. So that is something that you would expect. There's a high amount of assists because they can see the court, they can see their players, they know where to pass the ball. They know the right spots to go to pass the ball to people that are open, and they they just feel comfortable out there, really really comfortable out there, and I love to see when T.J. McConnell gets replaced by Jackson-Cartwright, um, and there's hardly any drop off as far as performance. Um, I think last game, I think T.J. McConnell actually left the game because he was in foul trouble. We were in the first half and he had 3 fouls already, and so they put in Jackson-Cartwright in, and Jackson-Cartwright actually I think when Jackson-Cartwright went in, then they actually started to win the game because when T.J. McConnell was in the game, then they were down by a few points, but when Jackson-Cartwright went in, then they started to get ahead in the game, and that's what I heard. That's what they did. The Arizona Wildcats had a hard time. They started off pretty slowly. Kind of, my friend said that they started out kind of sluggish in the beginning, and so Gardner-Webb, the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs, they were able to beat the Arizona Wildcats for some of the for quite a bit of the first half, and the Arizona Wildcats just said, "Hey, enough is enough," and they kind of got they kind of got down to business and ended up finishing the first half on a run, and it was 11-point run, and so they were ahead, but then the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs, then they came back in the second half, and the U of A Wildcats were ahead by 11, but then Gardner-Webb running Bulldogs, they came back so and it was only a 1-point game, and the Arizona Wildcats were only ahead by 1 point. But then that's when Jackson-Cartwright he had quite a bit of assists at that point. Whenever that just brought the Arizona Wildcats ahead by so much. They like I said, the Arizona Wildcats were only ahead by 1 point in the second half, but then the Arizona Wildcats, I think they went on a 20 something to. It was a huge run. The Arizona Wildcats went on a huge run, and I don't know. I think that the Arizona Wildcats a little bit were kind of just. I mean, of course they were playing a game, but I think they were just kind of testing the waters of Gardner-Webb running Bulldogs, and that's why they kept letting the Gardner-Webb running Bulldogs back into this game. And the Gardner-Webb running Bulldogs were doing good on 3-pointers because they had a guy. The Bulldogs had a guy. His name was Tyler Strange. He made 5 out of 6 from 3-point land, and I saw a lot of his shots, and they were just money. The sweet shots, and he was way out there. It wasn't like he was on the line, the 3-point line, or anything like that. I mean, he was like 5 feet back, it seemed, from the 3-point line. So, I mean, he really dialed it up nicely, and that's one thing that the Arizona Wildcats are going to have to definitely deal with Gonzaga, and Gonzaga is on Saturday, but the Arizona Wildcats are going to have to step up their defense on that outside. Definitely, I mean, that's a big no-no, and it's also nice to see. I mean, Tarczewski was doing really fantastic job in the first half, but it's really nice to see Dusan Ristic get involved and get down in that post and just kind of move his way around and also make some nice moves, some intelligent moves, some smart moves that you just don't normally see from freshmen that haven't been playing in college for very long, because they just cannot. They're not used to the game just yet, and so they haven't figured it out. How to trick the other players and things like that. But Dusan Ristic, he made some very good decisions, and he ended up with he ended up with 6 points, and there was quite a few of the Arizona Wildcats were able to knock down those 3-pointers. Stanley Johnson knocked down 3 for 4 from 3-point land, so he was doing very nice, and T.J. McConnell had 1 for 2, and Gabe York had 3 for 5. Gabe York really was doing good tonight, and I don't talk about Gabe York as much as I should, and that's one of the faults that I have. But one of the sportscasters was saying that with Gabe York, it would be really nice to see him to be that go-to guy on the outside, to be that person that you cannot give him an inch of freedom, and he'll knock down those shots. I want to say that the reason why Gabe York did so good against Gardner-Webb is because Gardner-Webb has not a very good RPI, and so Gabe York, I think, had quite a bit of confidence going into this game, and he felt good, and like I said, he ended up scoring 18 points. But we'll see. We'll see if Gabe York can still hold up his end of the bargain against the on Saturday, whenever they play on Saturday. So it's just really nice to see. We had what was it, four guys, and with double-digit scores. Stanley Johnson had 18, and Caleb Tarszewski had 10, and Gabe York had 18, and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson had 11. We just have all these pieces. The Arizona Wildcats just have all these pieces, but it's nice to hopefully they can all start to work together. All the pieces can all start to work together and gel together with a little bit of time, and that'll be a big task, definitely, because you just a game like this. I told a buddy of mine that the game like this is with against Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs. It's not necessarily can you beat them or not, but more importantly, I think more valuable is that the team works on working together, working as a team, working, making a lot of assists, and playing with each other, giving the ball to each other, so that it can be a team effort that wins the game, and they did. I mean, they did, because the Arizona Wildcats won this game. What was it, 91-65? So they won it by quite a large amount. But the first half, most of the first half was the Arizona Wildcats just could not pull it out. But anyway, so we'll just see what happens with Gonzaga, and it's just nice to see all the contribution from all the players. That's one other thing I was going to say. As far as Stanley Johnson and T.J. McConnell, that's a really important teamwork or pair that I would really like to see work together. It would be nice to know exactly how many of T.J. McConnell's 8 assists were to Stanley Johnson. That would be interesting to know and to find out. The Arizona Wildcats did totally out-rebound the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs. I think we had, 40-something total rebounds, 48 total rebounds. 43 total rebounds to the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs, 27 total rebounds. So it's just defending that three-pointer. that 3-point attempt is going to be a huge task, and let's see, we'll just can we pull the defense out? Can the University of Arizona Wildcats pull the defense out of the opposing team of Gonzaga, so that they can make some points inside, get the ball inside a little bit. Whenever you had so many different Wildcats knock down a three-pointer, Elliott Pitts, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, Jackson-Cartwright, T.J. McConnell, Gabe York, Stanley Johnson, all those different guys knock down three-pointers, then you pull the defense out of the opposing team. Gardner-Webb, Bulldogs in this instance, and whenever you pull the defending team out, then you can penetrate and make some inside shots too, and it just opens up the game pretty major. So we will see what happens. But anyway, the Arizona Wildcats beat the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs. Final score: Arizona Wildcats 91 to the Gardner-Webb Runnin Bulldogs 65.